What is going on, YouTube? We are back in it for another one. I'm feeling kind of tired, but we're going to try to bang this one out. I did get a chance to play XDefiant for a little bit. We got a few hours in. I would say 2 sessions of about an hour and a half. I was able to reach rank 10, and I was able to rank up a few guns, but I didn't, I think the highest rank I got on a gun is like rank 3. I was trying to use as many guns as I possibly could for the time that I was on, so I didn't get the guns ranked up too high. And keep in mind, my entire experience was on the Xbox Series S. So take that for what it is. I was going back and forth. I was like, should I get it on PC? Should I do it on the console? I was like, I don't know. And then I just ended up going with the console, man. So that's what it is. For my first impressions, my experience here, it was all Xbox Series S. So keep that in mind. If you're looking for just a quick summary on what the game feels like, I can break it down for you like this. Think Cold War with better visibility, a little bit wider maps, and more fluid movement. There you go. There's your game with no kill streaks. If I was to sum it up real quick, that's the best way I could put it. I would have gotten some more time in on the game because I was actually having some fun with it, but the crashing was just out of control, man. Apparently only on Xbox though. PS5, y'all are good over there. PC, apparently you guys are good over there too. It's just the Xbox, man. I seen a few tweets from some of the developers, including Mark Rubin, and they've acknowledged it, and apparently it's only with Xbox. It got so bad, there was like 3 or 4 games in a row where I just crashed over and over and over again. Like I would play the game, I would start a game, I'd play for about 2 minutes, crash. Start another game, play for about 5 minutes, crash. Start another game, you know what I mean? Like we just kept crashing over. I crashed so many times, I've lost count at this point. Like I'm talking, like I've never crashed this much on a game before, period. But it is a pre-alpha, like I said in my little video earlier today, so I'm not gonna dog on them too much for that, man. We'll let that go. Hopefully they clean it up. The hit detection is definitely something they're gonna need to clean up in this game. I noticed some ghost bullets out there. Like the time to kill overall in this game feels pretty good. Sometimes it feels like you die just a little bit too quickly, and sometimes it feels like it takes you too long to kill somebody. But I definitely noticed some ghost bullets in there, getting shot around corners. This is easily the worst game I've ever played so far for getting shot around corners and how far you made it around that corner. I was in gunfights going at somebody and I'm noticing I'm getting some ghost bullets, right? So I'm like, all right, let's just back off. We'll go just regen our health. We'll reload our gun and re-attack. And I'm like 5, 6, 7 feet all the way around the corner, and I still die by the same person I was in a gunfight with, man. Yo, it was insane. It's real bad in this game. Now, I heard that that's something that they've acknowledged and they're working on, so I really hope so. The shot around corners and the ghost bullets here and there are definitely a problem, as well as the animations seem to be a little broken in this game. There's been a few times, more than a few times, where I ran right up on somebody and they completely weren't looking at me, and all of a sudden bullets were just flying out of their shoulder and I'm just dead, right? Like there's no kill cam in this game, so you can't watch it back. You can't see that they were actually looking at you the whole time. The kill cam is kind of like Battlefield, where you just kind of sit there for a couple seconds, watch your dead body, watch the person that killed you, and then you spawn back in. But yeah, I've experienced that a few times where dudes are not even looking at me and I'm still getting killed by them. There was a time where I went completely around somebody and their back was facing me and I was putting bullets into their back and I still died from them. Didn't get shot by anybody else. It was only me and that person in that area at that moment. There's no way I could have got shot by someone else. I actually died straight up from the person whose back was facing me, man. It was crazy. A lot of bunny hopping going on in this little beta or pre-alpha test, whatever you want to call it. A lot of kids doing 360 bunny hops. Like even as soon as you start the game and you spawn in and you're running up to meet the enemies, they're just bunny hopping doing 360s, man. Now, most of the people I was playing against were on keyboard and mouse. It shows you right there on the scoreboard, and there is a scoreboard in this game. It shows you your kills, your deaths, your KD ratio, shit like that, how much damage you did, or what if you played the objective, shit like that. We got a scoreboard with this one. We didn't have to beg like we had to in Battlefield and shit like that to get a scoreboard. Scoreboard's here, and it will tell you your input as well too. And for some reason, now I know they said cross console play will be in this game when it launches, but for some reason I mostly played against PC and keyboard mouse. A lot of people bunny hopping doing 360s and shit, man, or doing the skipping rock bunny hop when you're in a gunfight with them. So you'll get into a gunfight and they're just bunny hop 2-3 times minimum per gunfight. Like, those are the types of people that I was seeing a lot in these little sessions that I had. It was yeah, it was real, man. The bunny hop is real in this game. You know, you do have freedom with your movement, absolutely. I don't know if it has slide canceling, man. I don't bother slide canceling. The booty slide is actually something they encourage in this game. A lot of spots on the map, you'll notice you'll have to run around to try to get to the objective or try to get to the enemies, but they'll have these little cubby holes that you can only slide through, and you can't go prone in this game. The spawns are solid for the most part, but they definitely need some work as well too. I spawned straight into gunfire a couple times. There was, I believe it was the beach map. I joined a game where we were completely spawn trapped. There was nothing we could do about it, man. We couldn't get out of that shit. As soon as we spawned, we were getting hosed the fuck down. So the spawns definitely need some work. There was another time there where I spawned, and I guess this enemy sniper spawned at the same time as me. He's running at full speed, looks over at me, and within 1/100th of a second, he quick scoped my ass, man. Quick scoping is definitely in this game. I did pick up snipers a couple of times off the ground, but I just tried hard scoping with them, right? They seem like they have a real intense zoom in, like you're zooming in far, it felt like, with a couple of the snipers that I picked up. So I don't know if that was just that particular scope that they had on their gun, because you can create a class and put attachments on your gun in this little play test here. But in my like first, I don't know, 4 or 5 games, I wasn't getting sniped all that much. Towards the end of my second session, I was getting sniped every single game, man. So snipers seem like they're pretty strong in this game. The graphics in my opinion are lacking, man. I hope they can try to clean them up a little bit. Honestly, kind of felt like I was playing Xbox 360 a little bit, man. Like, it's just the graphics, they're not god awful, but they're definitely not great, man. I was expecting a better looking game, but the visibility in this game is great. We haven't had visibility this nice in Call of Duty in a long time, because your enemies will like kind of light up red. You can't miss your enemies in this game, man. So if they're head glitching, they're hiding in some cheesy little corner or some shit like that, and there is a lot of campers I ran into in my couple sessions too. I'm talking about dudes nowhere near the objective, playing like the escort mode, right? So it's their job to go up and escort the robot thing, right? They're sitting back in their spawn, crouching down, literally not moving. So obviously they're just sitting there aiming down sight or whatever, and you're going down there because you're waiting for them to press up. Nobody's pressing up. They're not doing their job to play the objective. So you go try to find them and smoke them out, and they're just hanging back there, man, crouching down, just waiting for you to go and rush them. Like, dude, like, just play the fucking game, man. It's a play test. It's a pre-alpha play test. We're trying to feel the game out, and this is how you're playing? Like, dude, I'm telling you, the cowards, they're everywhere, bro. But the visibility is nice. The graphics are lacking, but the visibility is, visibility was beautiful. I didn't have any problems seeing enemies in this game. Like, Call of Duty, that's one of the biggest reasons why I get killed now. You get killed by a lot of bullshit in Call of Duty. But Call of Duty, sometimes, like, I'm just getting killed by people I can't see them. Like, where the fuck is that dude at, man? I can't even see him. Visibility in this game is great, considering it is lacking on the graphics. And I guess the one other little negative to get out of the way is some of these abilities and these ultimates can be pretty cheesy. Like, I got hit by the spider bot a couple of times, and the spider bot is like a mechanical spider, and it climbs up you, and it basically blocks your vision, and you can't do shit. You just got to sit there and just try to like wait until it gets off you. Like, you can't shoot your gun, you can't do shit, and you can barely see anything. So basically it's like you get hit by that bitch, it's over, man. It's just put your controller down and wait to respawn. You know, the ultimate that I was using, this game does not have kill streaks, right? Which is a big negative in my opinion. But it does have the ultimates, which are like the Black Ops 3 specialists, Black Ops 4 specialists, shit like that. The specialist that I was using the most was the Echelon faction. And basically what you do when you call in that ultimate, you get the vision pulse ability. So everybody lights up through walls and everything else. And then you're holding Sam Fisher's pistol. And that motherfucker is strong as hell, man. But I don't think you get any extra health though, because I've been killed just as fast with it activated than without. Now you have a choice between 5 different grenades in this game, and that's for your right bumper, right? So you'll have your sticky grenade, you'll have your prox mine, frag grenade, flashbang, and EMP. For your left bumper, that's going to be your ability. And with the Echelon faction, your choice of your 2 abilities, you can only use 1 per game, but you can swap it mid-game if you need to. But you have 2 choices in your abilities. And one is you can just ping enemies in a little area near you, right? That's fine. I have no problem with that. The minimap actually works in this game as well too. So if you shoot an unsuppressed weapon, you're going to show up as a red dot. I don't have no problem with the ping ability, but the other ability is, I think it's called Digital Ghillie. So you go basically completely invisible. And I can't tell you how many kills I got using that bitch. Dudes would have me pinned down in a corner. I would activate it and run right out around them. Like, I'll be in front of them for a couple seconds. They won't notice me at all. They'll keep walking to the corner that I was at, that I was trying to get cover in. They'll walk right by me, dude. I run right out around them, shoot them in the back. That's it. Now, you do uncloak when you shoot your gun, but still, man, it's like, I don't know. You got to be kind of focused to see it. I think, you know, kids with really good eyesight, they'll probably be able to pick it up pretty good, but it's like, I know we've had cloaking in Call of Duty before. You go, like, it's pretty hard to spot, man, unless you're actually focused and you're dialed in. Like there's a couple of abilities here where I was like, yeah, man, I don't know, that could be a problem, bro. The maps overall, I didn't mind the maps. There's a couple of that I really didn't like. Like, don't get me started on that one map. I think it's called Attica Heights, I believe. And it's like that Advanced Warfare map. You remember that Advanced Warfare map where you had the whole middle section there where you could fall to your death? Well, this is kind of similar to that, but so you got the middle there where you could fall to your death, but it's multi-levels, okay? And it's mostly just lines of sight, right? It just, what a awful map. But there's a couple of maps in here where I was like, smile from ear to ear, bro, just having a blast. Like, I think Zoo is the name of one of them. That's a great map. Another one was the Statue of Liberty map, where you got the Statue of Liberty's head in like the middle of the map, and like the map is just like on Liberty Island or whatever it's called. You guys got to remember I'm Canadian, right? So is it Liberty Island, I believe? So it's like kind of like Call of Duty maps where you have your basic lanes, but it just feels like a little bit more wider, a little bit more spread out. There is a lot of cover, and there's a lot of areas where you could get got from. I was surprised with how big these maps are. I expected a lot smaller maps, but surprisingly, you don't have to run very far to get to the action. It's like, they are bigger than I was expecting, but they're not huge like some of these huge ass maps that we'll see in Call of Duty these days. You do have some room there to move around. You do got your standard lanes, but like there is a lot of areas where you could just get flanked from, and you could just get shot in the back from, or in the side from. Overall, didn't mind the map layout though. It's a lot better than a lot of this new shit that we've been getting from Call of Duty, especially Infinity Ward, man. So I was digging the maps. The actual gameplay in this game and the gunplay feels exactly like Call of Duty, man. You're going to be able to go from Call of Duty, jump into this game, and feel right at home. You're not going to feel like there's any difference there, man. You're going to feel like you're playing Call of Duty. The gunplay, I would say it's kind of like Cold War and Modern Warfare Deuce had a baby. That's how like the gunplay is, the sounds, the animations, all of that. It feels so similar to Call of Duty, man. And the movement and all that just feels so similar to Cold War, just a lot more smoother. You know, the gun sounds are good overall, but I think they need a little bit of TLC. The footsteps are not out of control except for your own. I find your own feet are just too loud. They can be kind of distracting. If that's something that got on your nerves from previous games before, it might annoy you in this game. I hope they lower them a little bit. Your own feet sound pretty loud, but as for enemies' feet, yeah, you can sound whore in this game, but it's not crazy though. It's not like Infinity Ward Call of Duties where you can hear them coming from a mile away, man. It ain't like that. You're not gonna have people pre-aiming your position because you're rushing around trying to have fun. It ain't like that at all in this game. Yes, you can sound whore, but it's not crazy. There is no dead silence perk in here. They have traits instead of perks. For each faction, you have one trait. So like the Echelon faction, the trait that you get is you'll have the ghost ability, right? So there is no perk or trait that I've seen that quiets your feet altogether, but the footsteps are not really a problem. So I wouldn't even worry about that, man. Everybody who hates that you can't rush in these new Infinity Ward Call of Duties, don't even worry about it with this game, man. It's fine. Like, yes, you can sound whore but it's not out of control. Trust me when I say that. There is a gunsmith type system in this game, very similar to Call of Duty, but it's just more simplified, easier to understand. I didn't notice any useless attachments. You could put 5 attachments on your gun, and just like Call of Duty, you'll get pros and cons with each attachment, but I didn't notice it as punishing as Call of Duty's gunsmith. So you want to use this to help out your recoil with your vertical recoil and your horizontal recoil. You don't got to worry about getting as punished as Call of Duty does it. In this playtest so far, we have 19 primary weapons, 5 ARs, 4 SMGs, 3 shotguns, 3 LMGs, 2 marksman rifles, and 2 snipers. And there was only 5 secondaries in the game, and it was all pistols. There was no RPGs or anything like that. Hopefully there's more in here, but it didn't seem too bad for content. I believe in this little playtest there was about 10 different maps, but I only played on like 6 of them on a regular, because when I got some of the other maps that I've only seen a couple of times, I crashed every time, right? So I was like, all right, man, I finally get to play this map, and then I would crash, and it's like, God damn it, man. So, you know, I'd end up going playing on Zoo again, or that Attica Heights map. Fuck it, I hate that map. That's gonna be that vote to skip map when this shit drops, when we play this game. But overall, a fun game. As you guys know, I haven't been in the mood for gaming much at all lately. Like Battlefield, you know, Battlefield drops her big update, I barely touched the game. Call of Duty, I'm barely touching it. The only thing I'm playing right now is like single player games, really, and even that I'm barely gaming. And for this right here, it was like, I wanted to get back on, man. It's got some fun, addicting gameplay. I wish it had kill streaks or score streaks in there. Unfortunately, it doesn't. But the gunplay and the gameplay, man, just so similar to Call of Duty, but you don't have a real problem with footsteps, and the minimap works, and just a lot of things that we've been complaining about, they're trying to fix over here. Do I think it's going to be a Call of Duty killer? I don't think it's going to be a straight up 1-for-1 Call of Duty killer, but I think this will put a little dent in Call of Duty, man, especially if this was just a taste of the content that this game is going to have. The fun factor is most definitely here, and let's just hope they keep building on this and improving on this. Man, I wish it had kill streaks, bro. It's so similar to Call of Duty. You could jump right into this game and feel right at home. But the kill streaks, man, like the main reason I play Call of Duty is because of kill streaks. I like going ham and being rewarded for going ham. And I mean, it's cool. You got like your Black Ops 3 type specialists over here for your ultimates and that, but I wish it had kill streaks, man. I think this game would be so much more fun if it had kill streaks. But I think for a lot of people like myself who are tired of Activision's bullshit, Call of Duty's bullshit, you're tired of skill-based matchmaking. Mark Rubin already confirmed that skill-based matchmaking will not be in this game. You got to work in minimap and shit. You know, I think for a lot of people like me in that situation, they'll find a nice little escape over here. This will be a nice transition from Call of Duty, a little substitute for Call of Duty. You know, like I said, it's a drag, no kill streaks, but I mean, it's what can I say, man? It's a solid little game for now. It's supposed to be free to play as well too. I mean, for free to play, this feels like is going to be quality, and I can feel it grabbing a lot of people. But like I said, a straight up 1-for-1 COD killer, I don't see the actual COD killer here. But like I said, I could see it putting a dent in Call of Duty, man. I see a lot of people who are sick of Call of Duty's bullshit going over here and having some fun. I hope this answered all of your guys' questions. I know I definitely missed some shit. You'll have to excuse me for that one. Whatever I missed that you're wondering about, drop it in the comment section and I'll try to answer it as best I can. But I'm out. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I think I'm going to go play some XDefiant. I'll see you on the next one.